Hi, Carrie, with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a layout for Cut to You design team, and I am using the Fly a Kite Trio cut file, and I'm also solving the CSI challenges case file number 366. And that beautiful photo prompt is where I started with my ideas for this page. The photo is all about words. So this month's challenges have been all about books and reading and words, and that photo there has words and letters flying up into the sky being caught by a butterfly net. I have substituted the butterfly net with the kites, and it'll become a little bit clearer a little bit down the track around why I went that way and what it actually means when it comes to why I chose kites instead of the butterfly nets. I also took inspiration from one of the evidence items, which was to do a mixed media background, and some of the colours on that page as well, that beautiful photo, that beautiful picture, is very, I guess, autumny, autumnal. Is that what you're supposed to say? Anyway, and so I decided, seeing I was having kites, I did need a sky, but I didn't want a blue sky. So I went for the idea of having a sunset type sky. So with some ombre sort of down the page, using some oranges and some purples and things like that. And I'll show you those colours and tell you about those colours in a moment. What I'm doing here is I couldn't make up my mind whether I wanted a gessoed cardstock or non-gessoed cardstock. So I gave the first bit a little bit of a trial. I ended up staying with the non-gessoed cardstock, and the main reason for that is I really didn't want to use a lot of liquid on this page, and I also, with the gesso side of things, it did feel like it was lifting off the page too much, where I just wanted it to just glide across the page, and it didn't need to float around too much and didn't need to mingle too much with other things. So I went with the no gesso. So to create the colours, what I've used here is, I'll give you the sprays that I've used. I've used the shimmer spray for the first one, that orangey colour in Mango Tango, which is that orangey colour, and I wanted to give it a bit more of a richer feel to that, and more like the pink sky in a sunset. So I added some shimmer spray in Vibes as well, in Pink Moscato. It's not, to me, it's the Pink Moscato is not really pink, it's more purple, but I guess it just depends on how you see colours. And it's got a bit of a gold tinge in it as well, so it gave a bit of a shine. The next colour down is Apricot, and it is actually called Apricot as well. It's a Dina Wakley Media Gloss Spray in Apricot. The yellow on the page is a Colour Blast colour spray in the colour of Saffron, which is that yellow. I do ombre it down that page. I've used about a 2-inch brush. I did put a little bit of water on the brush and then just picked up some of the spray, which I've sprayed down on my little trusty plastic container, and just painted across the page. I do coat the entire piece of cardstock, because at that stage I didn't know how much pattern paper I might use or where I was going to use the pattern paper. I just had in my head I wanted to have the kites in the sky. So I do cover the whole thing in the mixed media. But I do ultimately cover some of that up. Now also, every sky needs some clouds. So I do grab out some acrylic paint and my ink blending tool and just randomly squash down the paint across the page into sort of, I guess, cloudy cloud type shapes. I'm not really the greatest at making clouds. I did have a stencil and I tried it off camera to see if I could work with the stencil. If you see those stencils just there to the left, I couldn't get it to work. I don't know why, but I need to practice. And I decided to keep going with just freehanding that across the page, even though it looks a bit weird at the moment when you don't have anything else over there. But once the kites go on, sit on top, it gives it a really nice little fluffy sort of texture to the page. So I've added here some pattern paper that I've just rolled down and distressed with my fingers. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I am using the These Days collection by Coco Vanilla. Oh my goodness, it's such a lovely collection. So pretty. The colours are beautiful. I was a bit skeptical at first, but once you see it in real life, it is absolutely stunning. And the flowers are beautiful, and the just the pattern papers are lovely. Lots to fussy cut, and I love to fussy cut. So I got my stash from Kitaholics Kits. They have some stock in, I'm pretty sure, in still in stock as well. If you're interested, I'll leave the links in the description box below. So my idea was to have the kites obviously fluttering across the page, and although the photo isn't anything about outside, I just wanted to give this a bit of a fluttery feel. And when you see like I said before, when you see the title, you'll probably get a little bit more feel for what I'm talking about here. So with the kites, like I said, I've backed them with some vellum, but all I did in terms of sticking the cut file down to the vellum was I've only placed glue in the center of the cut file. So you can actually lift up the edges to give a little bit of dimension on the page. And it's a little bit hard to see right now, but you can absolutely get some depth and everything from the close-up, so you should be able to see that. And I've just randomly flung those across the page as if they were floating across the sky. Now, the photo is of my nephew. If you see my layouts regularly, he features very, very, very heavily. And this is a photo taken a long, long time ago. He was very little and he loved words. He loved reading. He loved everything about words. And this photo here is his little playtime where he would be quiet and all of a sudden you'd wonder where he was, and he'd grab the box of Scrabble from the shelf, and he would grab out the tiles and start making words, and he would copy words from books. And this particular photo is him copying the word Scrabble. So he'd find all the letters and then match them up. It was just so cute. He used to do this all the time. If he was quiet, all of a sudden you'd see him where the books were and just enjoying looking at the letters and creating letters and words and things like that. So my title is Words Give Flight to Imagination. And that is where my whole idea around the kites came from. So hopefully that all makes sense. And he's still a huge reader, loves English, loves words, which is awesome. Probably helpful that his mother is a English teacher. But yeah, I can't say how cute enough this is. It was so cute. So the letters there I've used from the mini puffy stickers, puffy alphas from the These Days collection. They are the cutest puffy stickers ever. They've got little hearts at the top of it, at the end of each letter. Oh my goodness, so cute. And the Flight 2 is also the These Days collection as well in there. And I believe, my understanding is that it's that's Zoe's handwriting. So they are absolutely original. Can't get them anywhere else. I then decided that the mixed media just needed a little bit of a I don't know what the word would be, but a little bit more of an oomph, and added some white splatters across the page. And that was just by getting some acrylic paint and adding a little bit of water and just flicking that across with the brush from my stash. So I love putting white splatters on things. It just gives them just that little bit more, I guess I think I call it all the time, it's a bit of whimsy, I think. It's just a little bit of fun. And I absolutely wanted to bring in the butterfly theme from the collection as well, and from the photo prompt. And I have fussy cut out butterflies from the A5 paper pack. So they are in the smaller size, which was perfect to go alongside the actual kites themselves. So I had them flittering and fluttering across the page with the kites. And I also add a few more down towards the right-hand side as well, just to give a little bit of an extra cluster there on the right-hand side. As always, I will leave in the description box below the links to the cut file and the cut file store, Cut to You, and I will also leave a link to the Facebook group. We love it if you share and ask any questions that you might have, and the design team will hop on in and answer anything that you have. As always, again, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all the comments and the likes and the subscribes. It just makes me so happy. I'm really enjoying this new I guess, process of my scrapbooking this year. And I'm really thankful for you visiting today. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.